Hi, I'm JB Bryan, President and Chief Investment Officer at JB Bryan Financial Group, the home of AfroEconomics. And we're celebrating 22 years of serving the Black investor, the Black family with pride. Thank you for hanging out with me today. And this is indeed an exciting opportunity. My birthday is Friday, and I officially incorporated the firm on Friday, March 10th, 1995. This is 22 years. Wow, I'm so thankful. And it's because of you. I've been able to continue to lead the firm forward and help clients for these many, many years. It's amazing now when I think about how many people I've met at my age and who have now been retired for 20 years and still have money to show for it. So to me, that's a big pat on my back, for people to still be maintaining and doing really well through all of the volatile times that we've been through over the last 20 years. And in addition to this being my anniversary month, March is Women's History Month. So I have made a commitment to make sure that I discuss women, our money, what financial habits that are impacting us. There's been reports that have shown that the net worth of a Black woman at approximately $100, while the net worth of a white woman at $41,000. And that's according to a research that was published in Essence magazine. So we have some things to do and need to really recognize what worth is, what net worth is, and that is assets minus liabilities, because we've been taught a lot about acquiring and purchasing and going into debt and buying things, but we don't realize that when you buy things and you have to finance things, that doesn't always increase your net worth. Your net worth is your assets subtracting out the liabilities. So if you have, home loans, car loans, school loans, and all these loans, and the assets aren't more valuable than the debts that you have, then you can actually end up with a negative net worth. There's many people that have, often due to school loans, that have a negative 100,000 plus of net worth. So to say a positive 100, means that there's just some extremes, like Oprah would be included in the Black woman net worth. So she's pulling up the numbers for a lot of us. So we need to be conscious that though we have been socialized and programmed as Black women to utilize debt a lot to acquire things, that in many cases it is not in every case, debt, unless it's for an investment and that you are quite sure will compound pretty fast in value and allow you to get rid of that debt, debt is a dangerous way for acquiring assets. And we need to have a better understanding of assets and debts and how it impacts our financial future and our financial independence. So some key points, and acknowledging that in the book, this is AfroEconomics, Our Black Wealth Matters. It is designed with you in mind, that it is for you to utilize the 10 principles of AfroEconomics so that we can be financially independent, that we can be financially strong for yourself and for future generations. So some key things that I want us to check out, and this is for men that are listening, for the women that are listening, all of these points that we're really focusing on women in this week, but these are for the woman in your life and they're for you as well. So the a key point is knowing that protecting your retirement accounts. Let's look at that as number one, that too often women were guilty of using your retirement account like it's a checking account, like it's, you know, there for you to draft on. That's not what the retirement account is for. You need to be very careful. Also using your retirement account as a way to get access to money when you do a job change. That's not what it's for. You want to continue your retirement growing, not necessarily leave the money behind, but find out what your options are when you're, so that you can continue to grow your money when you go through a job change. People are changing jobs like 10 times during their careers. People aren't just getting a job and staying there. So if you're saving for your retirement, you change your job, you spend the money, you accumulate some more, you change your job, you spend the money. That can be, you know, really devastating, basically, to your financial independence. So make sure that you stay focused on protecting your retirement accounts as much as you can. And then and getting rid of debt before you retire. Being conscious of debt has to be eliminated, if you can, before you reach your retirement years, because during retirement, most people are on a fixed income. So, you know, the less you have debts pulling out of or pulling away from that fixed income that you have, the better off you'll be. So a good goal is to say that I want to be debt free when I retire, and how do I make sure that these are paid off? In a discussion earlier this year, and even on a TV interview, I talked about how many people are receiving Social Security and are receiving garnishments because of school loans that are government guaranteed. So they're thinking that they're not going to have to pay the school loan back, but people are getting garnished on their Social Security to pay back school loans. So be very careful when you sign for school loans that you get it. Be careful about getting into those situations, and then make sure that it is going to pay off for you and that you're going to be able to pay back. And most importantly, I have clients that co-signed for grandchildren even for their school loans because the parents didn't have the credit to do that. So the grandchildren upon graduation are not paying the school loan back. That's a problem. So be very careful in co-signing debt for anyone, and especially government debt, because they will get their money. And then I also want to point out, let's talk about not borrowing in your retirement accounts, paying off debts before you retire, paying off debts while you're working. Like now you're working, you're thinking, I'll never retire. That's cool. But in order to be financially independent, for many of you, it's going to require getting rid of the debt so that you have the assets that are paying out income for you. And that's a third point, is to create a plan of how you're going to generate income for your retirement. What are going to be the sources of income? Is it going to be the money that you're saving into your retirement accounts? Are they going to sup that income? Is that assets? Are you going to be getting monthly income from those assets? Or are you acquiring properties that you're going to generate a rental income from? You know, what is your retirement income plan? What is your financial independence plan? What is your plan for generating income to support your Social Security income? Because your Social Security, in most cases, is not going to allow you to maintain your style of living. So be careful with that, right? Right. So I'll make sure that you create a plan on what am I doing, what am I saving that's going to supplement my sources of income, supplement my Social Security at retirement time. So the another emergency fund. We need to make sure that we have funds available. Your retirement savings is not an emergency fund. That's not how you say it. You can't continue to access your retirement account when emergencies come up. So we need to start accumulating money outside of the retirement account that you can access during emergencies. And then realizing that some of these things are going to make life uncomfortable, that you're not going to just be able to do whatever you want to do just because you can do it. It's going to require a lot of discipline to say that I can't do this particular thing because I haven't saved for that. I'm not going to use my retirement in order to do that. I'm going to wait and save up for that. And, you know, and it is possible, but we're just accustomed to, oh, when they run the commercial, you can finance this. So that we just feel like, well, they said we can finance it, so I'll finance it, not realizing that that's creating another bill for you. So the also think about a retirement plan for living. If you're thinking about that when you retire down the road, even if it's 20, 30 years away, where do you want to live when you retire? Do you want to live in another state, or when are you going to move? What is your plan for making that happen? How do you want to live during retirement? How are you going to reduce your expenses? Or you might say, well, when I stop this job, I'm going to start this business. Realize that it takes money to be in business. So you have to be careful in realizing, what are you going to do? How are you going to finance that business that you're saying you want to have for your retirement? So these are real things. Now, this some points I want to share about some reasons why many people are not saving the money, especially this is an article written, and I thought that she shared some really key points here. And it's called Sikhism, 5 Reasons Why Black Women Can't Save Money. Wow, like, right? And the I saw it in there, but it was like, I don't know. But this is like an article from 2010, but I thought it was interesting. So and so I was like, let me let someone else say it, so I won't say it, so you won't blame it on me. But it says some 5 reasons that Black women can't save money. It's number 1. It said that we treat boyfriends like husbands. It says we won't get on. She said we won't get on how many different ways this behavior is detrimental. But speaking financially, co-signing on loans, entering long-term agreements with someone who has not attempted to commit to you on a long-term basis is ridiculous. Now, they're talking about women, but there's a lot of men who have gone through that too, on co-signing for a loved one, and then they decide that they don't want to pay for that, and they hurt your credit and theirs. So, and sometimes not just co-signing, but actually signing by yourself because they don't want them on the loan at all. So it says be careful. It says don't treat your boyfriends like husbands, and that's really true. That even down to there's people who have done joint debts, but then they have the joint debt together, but they don't put that person that they have the debt with on their life insurance. So when something happens to them, the person who went into debt with them, could be you, are not protected. So make sure, especially if you do a joint debt with someone, make sure that you have a way to pay that debt off if they die. Like, even if it's your boyfriend, that make sure that okay, we're going to get this together. Let's make sure we have enough life insurance on each other that it will pay this off. So be very careful. When is that? Don't treat your boyfriend like husbands, but that happens with some husbands. That happens. There are some husbands that don't protect their family or their household because they don't want to get life insurance on themselves. But then to realize, if you have debt together, you have to have a plan of action that if either of you die before that debt is paid off, have a plan of how we're going to pay it off. And a lot of times life insurance is the best way. So protect each other, protect each other. And then another key point is that why Black women don't seem to be saving money is that they find it difficult to say no. You know, how many of y'all like really, find that to be true? And the according to the research, not just Black women, but it said over 70% of women who've been studied, they found that the bulk of them are not financially secure or don't think that they're ready for their upcoming retirement. So this is real. Learning how to say no could be a main way to make sure that you start saving more, says the they say, oh, look, this person says, like, first say no to the church, then to bills, and then to relatives and friends who have no means of paying you back. Ooh. We believe that we are helping everyone around us, from trifling siblings to grown children, but really are enabling the people we love the most, not to mention damaging your own financial futures. Whoa. So on the airplane where they said put the oxygen mask on yourself first, be careful. I remember I met this lady and I was helping her, and she won the lottery. But every time that she would get her check for the next year, she would waste all her money. And even like, this is back in the day when they would foreclose on you and you would be out of there before she could get her next check. She bought a house but didn't pay for it straight up. She was foreclosed before she could get her next check for the next year, and she was getting a lot of money every year. So the next year I said, well, what we're gonna do is when you get the check, we're gonna make sure I'm gonna help you. We're gonna, just plan this out, pay off all these bills, get yourself straight, get you and your family a good place to live, and then we'll talk about investments. So we set up this strategy, and I'm just helping her. She's not like paying me at all at this point. And before she could get to me with her check, which has been instructed to just put it in the bank, she had already taken a big portion of money and had given it to her church. Now, I love God so much. The only reason I'm here is because of God. But I tell you that you have to learn how to do things decent and in order. And she did not have that money yet. She had way too many people that she owed, before she worried about making sure that they put some particular statue or mantle or something that she wanted to have her name on in the church, and it was just not in order. So I have an entire chapter in the book on integrity that refers to verses out of the Bible about money management. So I think sometimes that we use excuses, we use God as an excuse for not having proper money management when that's not his intention at all. And so number 3, we make our hair and nails a top priority. Woo! Exactly. I would probably say like that is definitely true. Like the going natural like really has helped a lot in saving money on not having to chemicals are expensive, so yes, but it is important. We have to make sure that you can really afford what you're doing. Like, if you are not saving enough, then natural might be an option for you. If you're doing a $4,000 a year on hair weave, then and you're not saving $4,000, for your financial goals, and it might, it might be something we need to consider that could be a hindrance, that things could be out of order. Like so be careful, very careful. Another point that they shared in this article on Sikhism, Find Wealth from October 2010, it said we buy children name brand clothes. Now now I can't be guilty of that. I don't think so. Like, but it's okay. Like there was a picture the other day I saw, and it had a picture of Beyonce and Jay-Z's daughter had on a $2,100 designer dress. And hey, that's cool because I mean, that's nothing to them. I guess, I hope so. I hope that's nothing to them. You're like, why would you spend $2,100 on there if that was expensive to you? But $210, might really be, messing you up. Are you spending, $210 on, name brand sneakers, when your child needs to have tutoring? Now, and I definitely spend a lot of money on my child, but it's on music lessons. I'm talking thousands of dollars a year on music lessons and tutoring and educational support and everything to increase her academic and her talent and things that are invaluable and priceless that can really help her. But I do my best to make sure that I'm not, wasting money on things that can only decrease in value. When you're investing in their mind and their skills, and even, in getting your children into sports, like, would you have a problem signing them up for a $200 sport camp, but you don't mind buying them $200 worth of sneakers? That's a problem, because he'll get much more out of that sports camp than he would out of, and buy cheaper sneakers, because those skills that he gets in that camp, or the connections that he gets in that camp, might be his way into a free education. So definitely be careful with the brand name clothing for our children. And the fifth point was, we care too much about what our car looks like. They said that. And, is that true? I don't, no, like, that, everybody that knows me, there was a time in my life where that really did matter. Like now, as I learned about, there's a lot other ways to spend your money than on car payments, but sometimes you gotta live a little to learn a little, I guess, and then do better. But I see a lot of grown folks still wasting money on cars they really can't afford, that are not business vehicles, that they cannot write off, and they do not create any income for them. So, be very careful on the money that you put into your vehicle. Like I said, a lot of times people will make sure that their car is clean, but then their house is dirty. So, make sure that your financial house is clean, and not, instead of focusing on what things look like on the outside. So let's be careful, and let's keep it right from the inside out, right? Please make sure that you put a comment if you have some feedback on some of these key points. But I love you, love my sisters, and I want us to encourage you. My key point for this discussion is to be encouraging, not to like beat us down, because we work hard and we deserve to treat ourselves, but we just have to be careful about ourselves. What is comforting ourselves? Like, what is best for us? And do what, like I put on my Facebook wall today, it said that do that which feels right to your soul, and if you know that this is going to set you back and you feel it in your soul, don't do it. Focus on, delayed gratification. It is the way. Check out the workshop, register today. It's in Virginia, Black Family Finances, Building Your Legacy. And it's on Saturday, March 25th at the Marriott Hotel. All the details are on the AfroEconomics.com website. But the app, please download the app, and please subscribe to that AfroEconomics with JB Bryan channel, so that you can get alerts, and that we can keep in touch a lot easier. So get the app, subscribe to the channel, and please check out the book at AfroEconomics.com. There's a big bookstore and additional details on upcoming workshops. Have a great day. God bless you, everybody. Take care, and remember, continue to give honor to our women and our money. God bless.